All right, welcome back to the channel. It's your boy Fanon, and in this video, Lamont Roach Senior admits it about Gervonta Davis in an interview with Mill City Boxing. Very encouraging interview. Big update on the rematch coming up between Gervonta Davis and Lamont Roach. Let's talk about that in this video. All right, welcome back to the channel. It's your boy Fanon, and in this video, my guy from Mill City Boxing, shout out Mill City Boxing, who did a wonderful interview over on his YouTube channel. I think the interview was originally on his Instagram channel, so make sure you follow Mill City, M-I-L-L-C-I-T-Y, Mill City, on both YouTube and Instagram so you can get the interviews that he puts out. A lot of really good work. He does an interview with Lamont Roach Senior. And Lamont Roach Senior said something that I really needed to hear Lamont Roach Senior say. And I believe if Lamont Roach believes it, Senior believes it, then Lamont, the good reason to believe Lamont Roach believes it as well. What is it? He believes that Gervonta Davis is still the man, and he is still the top pound-for-pound fighter in the world. That is from Lamont Roach Senior. And then he extrapolates on that. And he basically warns people, look, just because we did that, and I'm going to get to the that part of we did that, just because we did that to Gervonta Davis does not mean that it's going to look that way when other people fight him. Gervonta Davis is really like that. He's really that dude. But Lamont Roach Senior says, hey, man, we're like that too. So do not confuse your underestimation of us and you not understanding how good a fighter we are with some indictment on Gervonta Davis and his skill set, right? So take, for example, the fact that Gervonta Davis, after a draw, which many people thought he won, was taken off of pretty much every pound-for-pound list that there was in boxing in exchange for, I think David Benavidez was put up there on one, but they may have switched him out because of that draw. And then all of a sudden you have people talking about how this guy's going to beat Gervonta, that guy's going to beat Gervonta, and the other guy's going to beat Gervonta. But as people know, there's something in boxing, an adage in boxing called styles make fights. And that is what Lamont Roach Senior was saying. He was saying, look, we're a hard match for this guy. That's what it's going to be. And we're going to be a hard match for anybody. That is an adage that is just everybody knows. Styles make fights. Lamont Roach, in the way that he fought Gervonta Davis, was perfect for fighting Gervonta Davis. Number one thing that I think that he did with Gervonta Davis that other people may not be able to do because they're not as familiar with Gervonta Davis, as I think Lamont Roach was pretty much at one with the pattern of fighting that Gervonta was going to fight. He knew what he was going to do in the first 3 rounds, knew what he was going to do in the middle rounds, had an idea when he was going to try to press the gas. So Lamont knew how to stay defensive primarily in the early rounds, not be overactive, don't get caught with anything. And then when Gervonta Davis picks up, he started throwing punches in between Gervonta Davis's punches, real short, tight punches that counteracted some of the hooks that Gervonta Davis was throwing and the uppercuts that Gervonta Davis was trying to get in on the inside of him. He was unable to do. The uppercuts kind of went away, I think, because of the ref calling them as low blows. But he just had a really good pattern and a sense of the pattern that Gervonta Davis was going to fight in. And he was also a very firm, solid fighter himself, as evidenced by the fact that he was a reigning world champion when he fought him. So I understand where he's coming from. I will say this though. When you say that is Gervonta, that's what Gervonta Davis is. We saw the best of Gervonta Davis, right? And that was what he was. No excuses. That was the best of Gervonta Davis. I don't believe that that is true, that was the best of Gervonta Davis. It didn't look like the best of Gervonta Davis to me because Gervonta Davis was just so, his corner has so much confusion and so much drama in his camp itself or within the corner itself. So my only thing with Lamont Roach or Lamont Roach Senior was I would be very careful about whether or not I think that I saw the best Gervonta Davis there, and to think that they're gonna see the same Gervonta Davis this time. If I was them, I would be expecting a much better Gervonta Davis, a much better Gervonta Davis. And the reason I say that I think you're going to see a much better Gervonta Davis is I think you're going to see 100% focused Gervonta. Now, there's a lot of people that are criticizing Lamont Roach and Lamont Roach Senior for giving all these interviews and saying, hey, man, and I've said this in other videos as well, that the risk for Lamont Roach in this fight with Gervonta is Lamont Roach thinking that he won the last fight. That's a big danger for him if he thinks he won the last fight, because he didn't win the last fight. What he got was a draw in the last fight. Now, this thing could easily turn into either a situation where Roy Jones Jr., when Roy Jones Jr. fought, I don't know, Montel Griffith or something, and he got his first loss, and you compare that to the fight where he actually lost, the second fight to Antonio Tarver, right? In the situation with Antonio Tarver, the second fight got worse than the first. And because Antonio Tarver was, even more confident that he could pull off and do the same thing. And Roy Jones Jr. was not able to adjust to it. He winds up getting stopped by Antonio Tarver. If Gervonta Davis is not in the same situation, I believe, as a Roy Jones Jr., who is coming back down from and losing a lot of muscle weight. And I really do think that was about the time that his body started going, not just with Antonio Tarver, but maybe 2 or 3 fights later, fewer than that, he got back in the ring and fought Glennoff Johnson, wound up getting stopped by Glennoff Johnson again. So Roy Jones Jr., when he met his first rematch guy, I think it was a situation really where he was fighting a guy that was just where Roy Jones Jr. was kind of on his downslide, and Antonio Tarver already knew pretty much exactly how to fight him. It could be either one of those scenarios where Gervonta Davis just really turns it on. Now, personally, what I think Gervonta Davis should do in the next fight is I think he should just outbox Lamont. I think he should just be in the best shape he possibly can be so that his legs can move for 12 rounds. And I think he should just outbox him. Move, stick, move. Try to outbox him for the first 6 rounds of the fight. Try to get a lead on him of like 4-2 or 4-1 just by being outside, throwing the jab to the body, trying to slip the uppercut upside, slipping and getting out of the counters, because Lamont Roach was very good in his last fight at always throwing one extra punch in the combos when these guys were exchanging or throwing in between punches, where the last one winds up landing and making it look to the crowd and maybe to some of the judges as if Lamont Roach got the better of that. Gervonta Davis just has to, in my opinion, he has to box Lamont Roach. I don't think standing there on the inside with Lamont is going to be a smart idea, because Lamont is so compact, and that's kind of like what he likes. So he's just got to get really up on the cards, and then he's got to force Lamont Roach to really start trying to press him, and then because feeling that he's down and knock his rhythm off. I think all of those things can come into play in this second fight. But at the end of the day, I agree 100% about what Lamont Roach Senior said. Gervonta Davis is still that guy, but he's always going to have a hard time with Lamont Roach. And furthermore, other people are going to have a difficult time with Lamont Roach. So I'm happy that Lamont Roach Senior is saying this. I'm glad that he's giving Gervonta Davis his credit. They deserve a lot of credit for what they did. My only thing is, don't get carried away and act too much like you won that fight, because in reality, you didn't win that fight. Lamont Roach did not do enough to win. And more than likely, if Gervonta had not been hit in the eye with that, whatever it was that made him kind of go hurt his eye and take that knee, I believe that those 2 of those judges gave 10-9 rounds to Lamont for that little mishap. If that had not happened, you don't know how the rest of the fight would have gone on. So as far as what the judges' score are. So that particular incident, I think, might have gotten Lamont Roach over the top. And I wouldn't expect that type of situation to happen again. But anyway, that's my take on the matter. Please let me know what you think in the comment section. And with that, I'm out. Deuces.